And
on.
the thing of it is, I want to kind of talk during this time, so
Well, welcome back to the Nub Podcast. This is the Merce.
it's Melbourne.
And today, believe it or not, I know this is going to be a strange change of events, but we're going to talk about nerdy things.
Oh no.
Yeah, totally different from what we've been doing. So, I have to complain. I have to rant a little bit.
Oh shit. All right, here we go.
I have to, maybe have a little nerd rage, as it were.
Okay.
I didn't see it when it was out in the theater. I was supposed to go see it when it was out in the theater, but plans fell through.
Mm-hmm.
So, Batman: The Killing Joke, the animated cartoon movie.
I was supposed to watch that as homework.
Yeah, you were.
I didn't.
That's okay.
You know why?
Why?
It's because somebody on maybe it was the Nub or somebody made a very vicious comment about how. No, it was a cosplayer. One of the many cosplayers I follow had a very vicious comment about how it was terrible.
Yeah, because it was.
Oh, okay. Well,
So let's just get right into it, okay? Well, let's talk about the saving grace of the movie first off. Mark Hamill, Joker voice, unbelievable as always. It was great.
Star of the show.
Exactly. And of course they also got the guy that I can't remember his name, but that does Batman.
Mm-hmm.
They got him back. Fantastic, right?
The fellow from Wings.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those were great. The voice acting was good, okay? The art was horrible. Like, it wasn't even like Batman, animated adventure art. It wasn't even, it was bad.
Not even
like,
cartoon series quality.
Yeah, it was just bad. Like, they weren't trying.
Wow.
So that was the first gripe. The second gripe. Now, there's going to be spoilers in this. If you haven't seen it by now, either
Does it
just
matter?
fast forward through
When
this.
it's so bad, though?
Yeah, let's get right into. They put like 10, 15, I don't know, like 20 minutes of a extra story in the very beginning of this movie that had nothing to do with the comic book. It had to do with Batgirl and some kind of villain who almost becomes like a love interest, kind of like he's very obsessed with her and this, that, and the other thing. And it led to, here's the big surprise, here's the big screw up, her and Batman having sex.
I'm sorry?
Yes, Batgirl and Batman had sex. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? Because she's like a daughter to him. Like he's her mentor. Like there's never been any indication in the comic books that they would have sex. Never that I've seen. She has a thing with Nightwing. They have a thing, but never with Batman. That pissed me off beyond belief. It's like they had to. I don't know what they were trying to do. If they were trying to give Batgirl more of a story than I don't know. It was just really pissed me off.
I'm trying not to laugh because all I could think of is Alicia Silverstone and George Clooney in their nipple suits.
Yes, exactly like that.
That's the
So
caliber.
bad art. A crappy 20-minute extra story at the beginning that had nothing to do with anything. It wasn't even interesting. Like it just was not interesting. That ended with Batgirl having sex with Batman. And I guess maybe they did that so that Batman would be even more pissed off when the Joker does what he does, to Batgirl and all this other stuff. But it was unnecessary. It really was unnecessary. There was no reason for it. If they wanted to do anything, they could have maybe played on the whole mentor thing, the whole But it was horrible. And then the rest of the movie that was more the actual Killing Joke comic book wasn't bad. I mean, it was okay.
How much did it diverge from the comic book?
Once it got past all the Barbara Gordon bullcrap,
Yeah.
it was pretty close. But it was literally 20 minutes of just added crap that had nothing to do with anything, and then it goes right into the story.
Now, on the timeline of it, how did Batman watch Barb grow up?
Okay. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. The Alan Moore story, The Killing Joke, was actually supposed to be a one-off, one-shot comic that actually didn't really take place in the DC universe. A lot of people don't realize that. It wasn't actually supposed to be canon, So, they don't really touch on in that story whether he watched her grow up or whatever the case would be is, but she is Batgirl. She's not even really introduced as Batgirl in the comic, though. You just know her as Barbara Gordon, and she gets, Joker goes to the door to screw with Jim Gordon, doesn't know that she's Batgirl, shoots her in the stomach, paralyzes her, takes her and does, takes horrible pictures with her and stuff like that, and uses all that stuff to try to screw with Gordon's brain, So that was the whole story. The story is very deep. It's psychological. It's great. And at the end, even Alan Moore says that Batman kills the Joker at the end of the story.
Yeah.
They don't actually show it, though. There's no panel where it shows it. It's just they're both laughing together, and all of a sudden the Joker stops laughing. And that's it. So Alan Moore was like, I guess he gave too much credit to his readers. He's like, I just figured that people would understand that when Joker stopped laughing, it's because Batman killed him. Like, Batman snapped his neck, or whatever the case may be is. So, yeah, it's a great story. So later on, because of the popularity of the story, they decided to make it canon. And then Batgirl became Oracle. She was, confined to a wheelchair, that kind of thing. She no longer ran around as Batgirl in the costume and fought crime. She was in a wheelchair in a tower where she would do all this computer hacking and keep everybody, all the Bat family connected and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of my absolute favorite stories. So when I saw this movie, I was livid. I was absolutely livid. By the time it got to the part where it was more like the comic book, I was already done. I just checked out. I was like,
"This is terrible."
Yeah, this is absolutely horrible. So I understand why it did so poorly in the theater release. I understand now why so many people were talking crap about it. And oh my god. Absolute
I can
rubbish.
see
You've
been waiting a week to vent this.
Yes. Yeah. Why did you have to get sick? I had to wait even longer.
I had a combination, I believe, of maybe SARS, Zika,
Typhoid Mary.
Definitely swine flu.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything the media has ever talked about.
Absolutely.
I had over the course of this past week.
Absolutely.
Because Lord was I sick.
You're on the verge of death, and I'm just like, yeah, but what about the podcast?
Like, we really need to run. I can't talk like that. My voice is good.
I think we should have done it anyways, though. It sounded fantastic. It would have been like I was doing a podcast with a gremlin or something,
Yeah, I still sound a little awful, but at least I'm, capable of moving.
Gizmo!
Oh, God.
Caca! All right. So that was my little bit of a rant. I mean, my God, just if you haven't seen the movie yet, if there's a way you can see it for free, by all means, give it, check it out. But if you have to pay to see the movie, don't do it. Just avoid it.
Is it on Netflix?
Not yet. I got it from Redbox.
Well, I was about to say, you're still paying for Netflix. So
yeah, but that doesn't really, it doesn't count, though.
You still shouldn't watch it.
Yeah, even if it's on Netflix, just
you're
avoid
still paying for Netflix, so just avoid it. Avoid it until it's free.
So I want to talk about, for a second, the kindness of nerds, I guess. I shouldn't say the kindness of nerds because that generalizes all nerds, and there's some real big assholes out there that are also nerds. But I just want to talk about the kindness of one nerd, actually. I have a friend of mine, his name is Josh, and Josh likes to collect shit. Like, he likes to collect G.I. Joes, He-Man, all these action figure toy things, right? And so he collects them, and then I guess he ends up either giving them away or selling them, whatever the case may be is, and then starts collecting again. So he knows my son. He's met my son a couple times and stuff, and we're sitting there talking. He asked me, like, do you think your son would enjoy He-Man? And I was like, oh, you mean like the old He-Man toys? And he was like, yeah. I was like, I'm sure he would. So he's like, I'm gonna bring him some He-Man toys next time I come over. I was like, okay. So I'm thinking he's gonna bring over like a He-Man toy, 2 He-Man toys. Oh no.
Skeletor.
Oh no. He brought over like every He-Man toy. Like, I'm talking about even the obscure stuff like the horses and Castle Grayskull and Mount Snakeface. I don't know what it's called, but
isn't it a skull? No, he has a snake.
There was a Snake Mountain thing. Yeah. I think maybe it was called Snake Mountain, actually,
Let's just call it Snake Mountain.
Let's call it Snake Mountain, because you know what? I don't really care. He-Man's been out for a long time, so...
He's been out? What?
Yeah.
Well, that
outfit. You did see any man that runs around in a little tiny, in tidy whities and his nipples hanging out. Let's be honest. Always want to wrestle with people. I'm gonna wrestle with evil. Ooh, okay. Well, why'd you bring the baby oil though? I don't understand.
It helps me fight.
We're not going back to the wrestling podcast, by the way. But no. So like, it was just amazing. Like, he brought over this huge box of He-Man stuff, and I was like, holy crap. So I was like, how much do you want for this? He's like, nothing. He's like, I collect the stuff, and then I usually give it away, or I'll sell it or something like that. I was like, you can't give me all this He-Man stuff. And I mean, like, there was a He-Man figure there was a Skeletor figure, there was like everything. I was like, you can't just give me all this stuff and then
battles.
I'm telling you, I'm like, you can't just give me all this stuff and then not expect it. I said, no, just I hope your son enjoys it. I hope he has a blast with it. And then I started looking through the stuff after he left. I mean, there was price tags on some of these things, like $15 per toy and stuff like that. I mean, this guy like really went out and spent money on these toys, and then just gave them to my son. So I want to put a shout out to Josh. Just that was fantastic. That was awesome. My son loves it. We played He-Man now like probably like 6-7 times, and of course I'm always Skeletor because let's be honest. When I was a kid I might have been He-Man, but now I'm older. It's all Skeletor and Vader. But yeah, it was just I just wanted to give that little shout out. That was awesome.
That's something funny because I've noticed a lot of people that collect stuff. I was watching one of these, I call them crybait videos, because you watch it and then all you do is you're just a bumbling mess after you watch it. This fella had collected cars his whole life.
Or as you put it, your eyes start to sweat.
Yeah, your eyes start to sweat. And this fella, he collected all these Matchbox cars, 1/64th model, like all various sizes and whatnot. His house was absolutely every single room. And he had built display cases. I mean, this guy was, he lived collecting these cars. And I always went to his church, and when he passed away, he left his entire collection to the church.
Oh, wow.
And they said, well, what can we do with this? So they brought like a auditor inside, and they started looking at some of the collections and stuff that he had, and it was worth, a fortune in his collection. And he just, willed all of it to the church, and was just, I've noticed that though.
Yeah, I think most collectors.
I guess is my point.
Yeah, I think most collectors, like I collect comic books and things like that. I would never think about selling them. I collect. There's a few things I collect I just wouldn't think about selling. I think most people that collect don't think about the sell. They're more about the hunt. It's something to do. It's a hobby.
I can relate to that because I like to collect shrunken heads, and for me, it's all about hunting.
It's all about the head hunting. Yeah, it makes sense.
Shrinking the head through various chemicals. I'm just kidding.
And voodoo, absolutely. Yeah.
No.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's really cool that people would do something like that. They collect a bunch of stuff and then they kind of pass it on to either the next generation, or like some people I know that have passed away have passed like certain collections on to museums and things like that. Like the hardcore toy collectors, when they pass away, there's that toy museum in Japan. I think they actually talk about it in like Toy Story 2 or something like that. But there's a I wish I could remember what it's called, but they collect toys. It's a museum of toys, and you just go and see all these various different toys from different genres. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So
kind of like PacMan Guy.
PacMan Guy.
You never seen PacMan Guy?
Mm-mm.
He's like the most diehard Pac-Man fan.
He has to be the most diehard Pac-Man fan. If he's probably the Pac-Man fan at this point in time.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh, you watch a video. It's on My Strange Addiction, and he is I will be very diplomatic and call him a peculiar character.
Okay.
Yeah. If you catch my drift.
We're gonna be diplomatic on this show. So he's not a weirdo.
He's a weirdo. That's what I'm trying to not say. But I'm sure he's a lovely person.
Absolutely.
But he wears his Pac-Man mask and goes out and.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
Yeah.
He wears a Pac-Man mask.
Yeah, and it's terrifying. And he goes out and like shouts at people in public, and he's just an odd guy.
That's gonna be the next craze after this whole clown thing. Showing up all over the place.
That's one of my one of the things we need to have a discussion on.
Hold on a second. I wonder if we set that off.
That was my issue.
All of five people that listen to our podcast. we set off the clown apocalypse.
Scary clown update. What have we done?
Yes.
Sightings in Sebastian, Palm Bay, and then some dumbasses in Bumfuck made threats to like shoot up a school or kidnap children or something. I want to say it was in like Ohio. Mm-hmm. I don't know, it was Bumfuck somewhere.
Oh my gosh! So we got listeners in Bumfuck somewhere. That's awesome.
Yeah, but there was a whole scare down in Sebastian. There were some sightings down there. Mm-hmm. Actually,
there were some in Palm Bay as well.
Yeah,
right?
One of my coworkers' friends or neighbors
dressed up like a clown and walked around the streets.
Yeah, no, they actually saw some clowns in the wood line.
Oh wow!
So it's like these people, and obviously with Spirit open and the availability of these scary clown masks are everywhere. But I just can't. I just think that's hilarious. We have a discussion about the ice cream truck, scary clown salesman.
Yes, and then all of a sudden it's like all over the country.
Within a couple of weeks.
Do yourself a favor if you haven't listened to episode 0. That's where we talk about the ice cream truck, scary clown like thing. So
now, if that happens, I say we gotta take credit for that.
Absolutely. Well, hold on. It depends on how much trouble we get in.
Oh yeah. No, I'm saying the ice cream truck. Like, if the ice cream
Again,
truck,
it comes down to how much trouble we get in.
That's a good point.
Oh man, like I'm not trying to spend time in jail.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to. It's probably gonna happen eventually, but I'm not trying to.
Well, you gotta stop putting on clown masks and
Well, I've been practicing making turlet wine, so it should be straight.
toilet wine.
Turlet wine. You gotta say it right. You can't say toilet.
Turlet.
You can't say toilet wine. Yeah, turlet wine.
Turlet wine.
That boy made that turlet wine.
Wow.
Yeah, it's delicious. I mean, you gotta clean the toilet if you can, but
Well, obviously. You don't want to be a barbarian. Come on.
absolutely. So, speaking of all this Halloweenish kind of stuff, and the fact that it is October now.
Oh, officially.
Officially, yes. Finally, thank God. It's my favorite time of the year.
Hopefully it'll cool off a little bit.
Yeah, I wish. But let's hear what your favorite cheesy horror flick is, or at least one of them.
I'm gonna have to go. I think we talked about it before. Dead
Is that the one where it's
I kick ass for the Lord? That's gonna be my favorite. It's so
till
bad.
the day you die, huh?
It's so bad. I love it. That, and I've got to say, was it Phantasm?
Oh yeah.
Phantasm 4 or 5? I don't know. The one with the quadruple barrel shotgun. I thought that blew my mind.
See, I love that movie. I love those movies as well. I think like probably Critters is one of my all-time favorites. I don't know why I love that one so much.
terrifying.
Oh, I love it. They roll up in little balls. And
Yeah, but then they eat you from the inside. I
I
hated
love
that
it.
as a kid. That terrified
And then
me.
they have the guy, the shape-shifting guy, and all. I love it. It's fantastic. And then
Terrifying.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space is one of the
Okay.
best cheesy horror flicks of all time, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I mean, they wrap people up in cotton candy cocoons, and then use crazy silly straws to suck the blood out of them.
Now, what about-
It does not get much better than
What
that.
about Trolls 2? I think it was. Had the famous scene where the guy, oh my God, they're eating her, and they're gonna eat me.
I don't think I saw that one.
It's like the most deadpan delivery of a horror movie, and this guy's like goofy, you know.
Mhm.
He's got that wafty '80s hair, glasses, like.
Oh God, I
Maybe
wish
he didn't have glasses.
I wish I wasn't balding. I would love to have wafty '80s hair right now.
But it's one of the worst scenes, and how the hell that ever made it in the final cut of the movie? It's like, did they not have quality control?
They just
or
didn't care at some point in time.
They didn't have enough recording medium.
Yeah.
They were going to run out of film. They're like, we got to let it slide. Just let it go. Do it live.
Let this one ride.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
All right. Another. I guess I don't know if you would consider it maybe a Halloween-ish, October-ish kind of story, but they're making a new Spawn movie. They're making
I
a
saw that.
Spawn remake, and Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn, apparently said it's going to be darker than the previous movie. My question is, will it be better than the previous movie? Because the previous movie is pretty bad. But let me tell you, the original Spawn movie had one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. They took a lot of like heavy metal and rock musicians, and they paired them with the what did they call it back then? I mean, now they would call it like EDM kind of music, but it was so. I mean, it was just fantastic. Like, oh my God! I think they did like Metallica with Crystal Method.
John Leguizamo. That whole time you were talking, I could not remember his first name. I was listening to you, but the gears were turning in my brain.
John Leguizamo.
I had to get it out. I was so excited.
Right the buzzer.
Sorry.
That's okay.
EDM, good mix of music. I heard,
Yeah,
I heard all of it.
No, I'm just. So, what are your thoughts of them making another Spawn movie? Like,
I mean,
again, we're back on this. We're back on. You know how I feel about remakes.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna do my "Here's the Thing" segment.
Hmm?
They're remaking Lethal Weapon. It was terrible. It was a TV series. They're remaking Rush Hour. It was terrible. And I saw that they were gonna redo MacGyver. Now I thought it was a joke, but then there's a trailer, and then there's an actual, like a real, people actually made like an episode where it's a real TV show. So I think it's past the point of being a prank.
Oh God.
I can't bring myself to watch it because the trailer was so bad. My niece, okay, young child, Could not even. When my sister was watching it, my niece walked out of the room. How can you watch this, Mom?
How old is she?
This is terrible.
How
She's like 6 or 7.
She's like very adult. Like, Mom, how could you possibly watch this tripe?
This is terrible. Or maybe she's like 5 or 6. I don't know.
I don't know
I'm
my
a
niece.
I'm a terrible relative.
I don't know my niece's age.
She's a child. I don't know the.
She's between birth and 25, somewhere in that range.
Somewhere in that range. No, but like, just for a kid that young to just go, this is awful. Like, how bad is it? I guess they. My sister's assessment was that they made him off to be like this, as if Richie Rich grew up and became a spy.
Mm-hmm. That's
like the premise of the show.
Oh my god!
And that completely.
That sounds fantastic.
Well, hey.
No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna just kind of go, what?
What?
What do you mean?
So yeah, no.
So I'm
gonna
just
skip
don't
that
think
one.
There's a need to remake everything. I don't.
Well, let's go to some more original content.
Yeah.
Luke Cage dropped Friday. Have you watched any of it yet?
Finals are taking precedent.
Are you telling me that you're allowing school to get in the way of your entertainment?
Yeah, because if I don't, then I owe my school a lot of money.
Oh, okay.
So I have to pass this class.
Well, then never mind. Well, I will tell you that I've watched at least I've watched 3 episodes now.
The whole thing.
I've watched the whole thing. Well, I tried to, but I passed out. I watched 3 episodes, and I will tell you that it's pretty damn good. It's starting off really good. The woman that they cast for Misty Knight, which is a character from Hell's Kitchen, she's been involved with Luke Cage and Daredevil and Iron Fist and those people. They cast her really well. Very strong black woman. I will say that in some ways it's kind of like the superhero Shaft. It seems like, which is kind of what Luke Cage's character was, because when you think about it, when his character was created, he was created for that kind of medium.
Well, I always thought he was fantastic. Mm-hmm. Just because he was the whole idea of heroes for hire and him just kind of being like again, I wasn't into much of the comic books, but I knew a little bit enough, and I always thought Luke Cage was just a hilarious, awesome character. Like, he's
especially
badass.
when like his catchphrase is was it Christmas? Was it? Oh man, something Christmas. My brain
doesn't even know the catchphrase.
Oh my god! What? Well, he hasn't said it once in the series yet, so. Anyways, but yeah, I thought they did a really good job, but I loved the way they cast Luke Cage. In the first place, when I was watching Jessica Jones.
I'm really upset about, and I'm interrupting.
Go ahead.
But I just remembered I had a dream recently that they launched the Tick television series, and that I had a dream I was watching the 2nd episode, and I was like, oh yeah, I was so excited.
Sweet Christmas!
Sweet Christmas.
Yeah, payback's the bitch.
There you go.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it. I had to.
You dreamt that they.
I had to get that off my chest because it.
You really are pushing for that show
love that guy.
To be.
I've been following him on, and I'll tell you what I did. As soon as I found out he was going to be the Tick, Peter Swanfinitz or Stephanopoulos, whatever the fuck his name is. I've been following him on YouTube and watching some of his videos. He does a fantastic Kevin Spacey impression.
Oh, does he?
Oh man, he is doing like a spoof on. Didn't Kevin Spacey do like a thing where you could buy these lessons online, and online acting lessons?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
This
did
is
he?
The thing that he did.
Really?
I'm virtually certain. Yeah, like improv, all these things.
You're virtually certain.
Yeah.
So you're not actually certain.
No, but I'm pretty sure it was him. And so they do this spoof where he's Kevin Spacey, and he's talking to the people, having them go through these ridiculous. Yelling at him and going through ridiculous improv things. It's a hilarious.
I have to see this now. I'm gonna have to YouTube this.
He's funny as hell.
Kevin Spacey acting lessons.
Oh yeah. No, that is a real thing. I am pretty sure.
Well, I have to check this out.
Yeah. I've derailed everything again.
Oh,
Luke Cage.
Sweet Christmas. Sweet Christmas. Yes.
That's where we were.
So just so you know, the show is starting off strong. It's really good. Like I said, I'm only 3 episodes in, so not a whole lot's happening. That's why I find with these with the Netflix series, Marvel shows, the first couple of episodes are kind of slow to build.
Yeah.
But as they go, they get better and better and better. They cast one of my favorite actors from Sons of Anarchy in this. He's a character named Shades.
Ron Coleman?
No, I wish. No, the young mixed the young mixed gentleman that was in Did you watch Sons of Anarchy?
No.
Oh, okay. I believe his name was Juicy, is what they called him, or Juice. You know, Juicy
Okay,
was
so
like
Juicy's
the nickname.
in it.
Yeah, Juicy's in it, and he plays Shades. So obviously his acting career keeps going to these little nicknames. Next is gonna be like Hey Marbles or something. It's just gonna keep going.
Nobody actually knows what his name is.
Yeah.
It's like he was Juicy.
Yeah, but no, it's a good start. So we'll see where that goes.
I'm just glad I don't have to spend so much time in this getting over anyone being the bee in Apartment 23, because that took a good solid 5 episodes for me to get over that, and then I was fine.
Oh, you didn't see what the lead character from Luke Cage was in before the show, then?
I don't want to know.
Oh, he was the D in Apartment C.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't. Innuendos.
He was the dickhead in Apartment 4.
Well, what do you have, my friend?
Stuff that's been creeping up on me this week. We obviously the 23rd passed, and I think we recorded before the 23rd.
I believe so.
Yeah, and of course sickness bumped us ahead of Tuesday, but there was no update on the 23rd on Overwatch. There were many conspiracies that's when it's going to start when season 2 starts. And
yeah, that's right. I totally would put out that whole I think that they're going to do something because it's the 23rd character and yeah.
I haven't been following any of the conspiracy theory updates, so I have no idea what's going on with it.
Yeah, they've got like 3 characters in the works too. Like
yeah,
it's,
I think what
Sombra, Athena, and there's a third one now that I saw some like little snippets and clues and things like that about, but I cannot remember.
Well, the idea I thought was neat.
Some kind of Asian gentleman who was originally part of the
yeah. He's in like the original picture of the fellas.
Yes.
His name begins with a T, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, like Mr. T or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
he
pities the fool. Exactly.
No, I saw an interesting twist that they thought Sombra was going to be a tank, and instead of
yes, I did see that too.
And instead of some like tank ability, she'll have like a shade ability to like conceal everybody, so you could sneak in.
But wouldn't that be more defensive though?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe she'll have some tanky self-heal shield. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
We'll see.
I'm not Blizzard. I don't have to make these decisions.
Exactly. They've already made them, so now they're just teasing us.
Yeah. And there was that, and I thought that was interesting. And as you know, I picked up Battlefront.
Well, real quick, back to Overwatch though.
Oh.
Can I just throw this out there to anybody that's listening? Anybody at all. If you're on a team and you see 2 people pick a Genji, do not be the douchebag that picks the 3rd or 4th Genji.
That just starts a chain reaction. And everybody picks Genji, or they go the Shimada brothers, and everyone picks Genji and Hanzo. Mm-hmm. And then you get this, like, a team tried to do that to me the other day. And I had picked Hanzo on my team, and I was the most Hanzoist of Hanzos. Like, I beat every single one of the other Hanzos. Oh. Like, I was very happy with myself.
Now we're back to the bragging part of the podcast. where,
Amazing.
Where we hear how unstoppably awesome Felton is.
Let's just say I was on fire most of the round.
Okay, all right.
No, but I mean, that does
like
happen.
Like a venereal disease.
It's annoying.
But, yeah.
It's like gonorrhea of Overwatch.
All right, so that's my bitching from Overwatch. I guess actually it's my own fault. I need to just play more ranked is what it is. It's
I've
my
been
own
playing
fault.
more competitive matches just because I'm tired of. I'm just so tired. I'm tired of quick play. Tired of it. Although the arcade mode this week's Brawl was pretty hilarious.
Oh, I haven't played it yet.
They sped up the recovery rate on your abilities like 175%.
Oh.
So if you're McCree, you're just throwing out flashbangs.
Oh,
and I thought, well,
man.
wait a minute, this is great. I'm going to be Junkrat. So I was just constantly throwing out concussion mines, messing up everybody's day.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. Oh, I enjoyed it.
Ice walls for days. Just.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was bad. We had a May on our team.
Oh, man. So, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Where were you going next after the Overwatch?
I was about to spend about a 45-minute complaint session on Battlefront.
Well, let's go ahead and shut that down. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No,
All right, so what's your complaint on Battlefront?
Well, first
Besides
of all,
the fact that the game pretty much sucks. It looks beautiful, but it sucks.
it's a beautiful game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely beautiful. It just sucks.
My complaint is that...
It's fun for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I don't understand some of the design choices in the game. Why they didn't think a secondary weapon was a good idea. Like, why can't you have a rifle and a blaster? They're mutually exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
They have the star card thing where they're basically cooldown weapons.
Yeah.
The cooldowns are like 30 to 45 seconds on some of them.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, come on, you're gonna miss.
Yeah.
Like, you get one shot. I don't know. It seems like the gameplay, the design, just didn't have any forethought into people actually playing it.
Here's the thing I don't understand is that the original Star Wars Battlefronts games, in my opinion, were great because it was basically like Star Wars plastered over the Battlefield games.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fantastic.
Which is what I was hoping this was going to be.
Exactly. That's what I was expecting.
You have a kit, you can modify it, upgrade it.
Yeah.
Woo!
No, not at all. And I don't understand the creative design choices. I don't understand why they went the route they went with a lot of that. It's almost like you wanted to piss off your fan base who have played the other games in the past, and you just wanted to kind of get people that are very casual gamers to want to play for like 10, 30, 40 minutes and then move on.
Spend $60 or you just spend $90 or $80 on the Ultimate Edition for some reason.
Yeah.
And what? You don't get anything out of it. You still have to buy the damn DLC.
Yeah.
That's my biggest issue.
It does not make any sense.
And you don't get any of the actual abilities. Like, there's 4 abilities: Bounty Hunter, Survivalist, Tank, I think, or some bullshit, and Sharpshooter. And you don't even get that until level 25. Oh my god. I'm like, I think
I
17?
I couldn't play past level 10, I don't think. Like, I was just done.
I'm like level 17, and I'm like, I don't know if I have it in me to get to level 25 and then spend $5 to get this.
I really hope that this was an eye-opener for them, and that, you know, if they try this again, that they will fix they will fix these issues. They will go back to their roots, because the original games were fantastic. I remember sitting at Gamer HQ, playing these games when they first came out, I think, or maybe at least one of them when they first, maybe the second one when it first came out, for hours. Like, we would have hours of fun, you know, time playing these, and on top of it, like, the fact that you cannot go from the ground to the air, like, there's no combat in it, like in the old games. Like, I could be on the ground in a firefight, jump into an X-wing or, you know, a TIE fighter, take off, get up into the sky, you know, and have a big dogfight over.
Well, those are all separate maps now.
Exactly, it's stupid.
Well, some of the maps now, I don't know, maybe if it was before they added it in, but now there's maps where you can do that.
Okay. Well, they finally fixed it, because
like, you could jump in an A-wing.
I hated the fact that it was exclusive, though.
Or G-wing.
Well, you can't. No, there are maps where you can do that, but you can't go up into the sky,
oh,
the
yeah,
big open sky, and have a huge dog fight, and then come back down to, you know, to a little firefight on the ground again, and then back up. That's what I loved. I just loved. I would get up in the X-wings in the old game and just circle around the battlefield, messing stuff up, you know, for a good like 10 minutes, and then towards the end of the map, just to have fun, I would like dive out of the X-wing, let it crash into somebody, you know, and then have a firefight on the ground for a while, you know, jump into a tank of some sort, and I don't know. It was like the other Battlefield games, and I love that. It just had the Star Wars kind of plastered onto it, and I was like, I'm okay with this. So I thought this was going to be a more in-depth version of that, and I was so excited. I'm so glad I didn't spend the money to buy it. See,
the only reason I got it is because a bunch of my friends, they play together. Yeah. And that's different. That's fun.
Yeah, well, any game if you're playing with friends is fun.
I don't know about playing it myself. I put in quite a bit of an effort to try and enjoy it. And the amount of time I'm going to have to put in to get to level 25 looks
kind of bleak, dismal. Right?
Yeah, it's looking bleak. I don't think that's going to happen. Overwatch is going to drop an update, and I'm going to be like, well...
Yeah, that was fun for a couple minutes. Let me get back to this Overwatch, though.
These start cards are lame.
Actually, I think next week when I get paid, I am going to download all the new Destiny stuff. Have you played Destiny before? Oh, you don't really do the console thing. So
no.
Destiny is fantastic in a lot of ways.
Isn't it on PC?
I don't know, actually.
It probably is.
Again, now we're gonna get torn up. I swear to God, I'm glad that, in a way, I'm kind of glad there's only like 10 people listening to the podcast, because I'm waiting
they'll
for.
be asking themselves like, "Oh, May is it?"
Yeah.
I think it is. I think it is on the PC.
But I loved it, but it became very monotonous. You know, like the difference between that and like say Overwatch. Overwatch, I can play 100 rounds, and each round will be totally different.
Yep.
You know, depending on who's playing, what kind of configuration you do, all that kind of stuff. When you're playing Destiny, it's pretty much like the same missions over and over again, and it's just you're trying to out-survive the monsters and things like that. It's almost kind of like Doom, you know, where it's like a run and gun, you know, except for you have like cool abilities and things like that. I mean, it's a fun game and it's really interesting and cool, but it gets very monotonous after a while to me. But
like Hellgate London. Like Hellgate London.
Yeah, but every time they come out with a new expansion, though, I jump on it again because. I mean, the expansion's fun, you know. It's a whole new mission and stuff. Exactly. It's just like that. You're grinding. It's the grinder is what it is.
It gets
it's
to
like
the point where
it's
you
a dungeon.
max out.
It's a dungeon crawling first-person shooter, basically.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited about all these different ways that they've changed the landscape of first-person shooters. You know, like Overwatch is kind of like a MOBA.
Battleborn. Ooh.
Battleborn is definitely a MOBA. You know, back to the Battleborn again.
What is it? I have no idea. No one's ever played it before.
But Destiny, you know, like I said, is like a dungeon crawler, but it's a first-person shooter. You know, I like the fact that they've taken these other genres and kind of melded them with first-person shooting games, which is, I mean, it's interesting to me. I think we first kind of saw that with the Fallout series, in my opinion,
and to a certain degree, Borderlands.
Yeah, but Fallout came out before Borderlands.
It did, but Borderlands pushed
Borderlands
the multiplayer.
Yes, and Borderlands.
RPG.
Borderlands, I would say, is definitely more of a first-person shooter. I wouldn't call Fallout really a first-person shooter, except for the fact that it is.
Yeah.
But it's not like it doesn't use the same normal mechanics as a first-person shooter and things like that. Like the aiming system's not great.
You can freeze time and let the computer aim for you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Chances and.
So. Yeah, Borderlands is definitely more of like the dungeon crawling RPG first person shooter, and I think
Diablo with guns.
Exactly. And that's what Destiny is, and it's fantastic. You know, it's really, really cool. Plus you get little speeders you get to ride around on, which are kind of nifty, so.
You know Zero Punctuation?
No.
You don't remember Zero Punctuation? It's on The Escapist. Mm-mm. He's the guy that talks really, really fast, British guy. Yahtzee, wears a hat. Has the stick figures?
Nope.
You would remember it if you saw it.
If I saw it, I'd probably remember it, yeah. But I have really bad memory.
I remember he did a review of Diablo 3. I believe it was Diablo 3. Mm-hmm. And he called it Diablo 3, The Quest for Better Pants. And I saw that, and I'm like, that's absolutely true, because when the marketplace was open, all you did was you spent all your time in the marketplace looking for that incrementally better. And I think about it, and I'm like, I wasn't even level 70 yet.
Honestly, that's every MMORPG, though, really, when you get down to it. It's like the quest for a slightly better gear. Like, oh, this one gives me just that much better stats towards what I'm doing, and this one gives me just that much better stats.
I feel as though I maxed out on Diablo 3, and once I got to that point, there's no end game after that. Mm-hmm. Once you can play in the hardest difficulty, they added more difficulty levels, but they also gave you the ability to, like, well, you know, if you get this or do that or change this skill. So I would go in, mess with some stats, and I have all these set items already. Mm-hmm. While I was getting set bonuses, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm walking through everything like it's nothing. Okay.
Yeah, it's time to move on.
But,
I mean, still, though, how many hours do you think you poured into Diablo 3?
Oh, hundreds.
Exactly. So you still got your money's worth out of it. You still had a good time.
And there was no DLC.
Yeah, so, well, there was DLC. There was.
It was an expansion.
Oh, an expansion. Well, I'm sorry. You still had to pay for it.
The expansion and DLC, I think, are different.
You're right. It's true.
Now, I will say, the marketplace, that was DLC by another name. That that was completely genius. I don't know why they got rid of it. They could have made, maybe they were making too much money and ethically felt, man, that we are robbing our fans blind.
I'm sure that's exactly what the issue was. They're like, man, we got all this money. I just can't, I can't take any more money. Like, where am I going to put all this money?
Maybe that's where Overwatch came from. They got so much money from the marketplace that they said, you know what, we should make a game and call it Overwatch.
Yeah. Just because we got all this money to spend.
Just because we have so much.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like, I'm sure that any company's business model is based on the amount of money that they bring in not being too much. You know, I'm sure that every business that's out there is like, okay, I know that we're bringing in a decent amount of money right now, but if we start bringing in too much money, we're just gonna have to stop.
We're gonna feel bad about it.
Yeah.
And then, ooh, that's gonna be a bad day.
Oh my god. So what else do you have there, Felton? Hot glue.
Hot glue. That was we've exhausted my discussion topics.
Not a problem. Just so you guys know,
what is the? What
it's the dog. It's the dog cast.
It's the husky now. The husky's doing it. What do you want? Are all three of you just gonna come in here?
Yep. Come on in. Party time.
All right. Yes.
So tomorrow is the first Melbourne.
Is it the first?
Toy. Yeah. No. Tomorrow's the second actually. Today's the first.
No, I'm saying I thought for some reason they'd done this before.
No, I'm pretty sure this is the first one. The toy. Something Expo. I apologize. It's on the
comic, I think.
Yes, it's on it's on the nub, and I'll repost it again tonight, just so you guys know. I will be there early tomorrow. I believe I'm getting there about 10 o'clock, somewhere in there, 9 o'clock. I'll be demoing games there for Get Your Fun On. One of the games I'll be doing is Concepts, which is a fantastic board game. It's a combination of so many other party games, but it's so much fun. It's basically you have a mat. And on the mat, you get a bunch of little squares and question marks and stuff like that, and you put them on different symbols and images. And from those symbols and images, people are supposed to put together either a phrase or a word or a name or something like that. And it's a lot of fun. So that's one of the ones I'll be demoing. Probably do another party game kind of thing, because a lot of the people demoing games there will be doing the heavier stuff. And I feel that sometimes the fun lighter stuff gets pushed to the side. So I'll be doing that. So that should be interesting. I hope to see people out there.
It's like the zombie dice game.
Yeah.
We were at MegaCon.
Yeah, I love.
We walked by that, and I thought, this is an enchanting little fun game.
Yeah. Those are. I love those. I call them little filler games and stuff like that. Speaking of board gaming, actually, this past Wednesday, I had a bunch of people over and we did some board games. And oh my god, it felt good. It's been a while since I really, dusted off the old gaming table and had some people sit around, and it was just
your luxury
a blast.
Gaming table?
My luxury gaming table. Well, you've seen it, haven't you? It's amazing.
Well, I'm trying.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We're actually thinking about building another one, a bigger one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're gonna right now mine sits 6 people, so we're thinking of making one that sits 8 to 10.
Are you gonna make it faster?
It's gonna be faster. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be stronger. Yeah,
nice.
We have the technology. So, but yeah. So we, I had some people over and we played all kinds of games. It was really interesting because I had people come at different times that night. Everybody wasn't there at the same time, so we were playing different games throughout the night. Starting out though, it was just my cousin and his girlfriend, and we played a lot of introductory games, so that next time they play, they'll kind of they'll be able to play other games. I'm really good at that. I like to introduce people to games by introducing a certain type of game, a certain genre of game that may be an easier version of it. I love to play what are called cooperative board games. Basically, everybody's playing against the game itself. So I like to start off with a game called Forbidden Island. It's a very easy concept to grasp, but it's not. I mean, it can be a very difficult game to play.
Can I take a stab at it?
Go ahead.
Is the island forbidden?
No, actually, the island is completely bidden. It's completely bidden. But
I lose.
Would you like to talk on the microphone?
Yeah, it's the Huskycast.
This is the Huskycast now. But
yeah.
No, so it's really cool. It's a game where you set an island up with tiles, and then as the game goes through, those tiles start to sink, so they disappear from the game, and it hinders your ability to move around the island and to do what you're supposed to do. It's a really interesting game, but everybody has to work together to try to first off get all the treasures off of the island, and then get off the island together in one piece. And if neither of those things are accomplished, then you lose.
It's like Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, it's a lot like Dead by Daylight. Actually,
except you don't have a monster chasing you.
I mean, you could have a monster chasing you. I'll dress up I'll dress up in a mask and kind of
you put on a
stalk you. Right? Yes.
Just stand in the corner. Go outside the house and stand in the wood line.
Yes, they all float down here.
So they're like, well, this mechanic isn't working with him outside. It's not doing anything. He's just standing out there looking at us through the window. It's can you close the shade? That's really upsetting.
And then I finally got to play my new version of Munchkin, which is a superhero Munchkin, it's Marvel Munchkin, which was really cool. It was interesting. I know a lot of you that are listening, if you're board game elitists, might be like, oh, Munchkin, rah, rah, rah.
What are you, a child?
Yeah, let me tell you something. Ooh, that wasn't me. Let me tell you something. First off, if you enjoy playing the board games, it doesn't matter what board games you're playing as long as you're having a good time. I'm so tired of this elitist attitude, towards this board game or that board game, or, oh, I can't believe you play that. Well, you know what? It's a board game. I'm having a good time. And for me, I play pretty much every board game. I will play anything you put on the table. I may not like it all, but I will play everything you put on the table. So, don't talk smack about playing Munchkin. Munchkin has been around for a very long time. It's a very successful board game to the point where, they've got so many expansions and everything else that you can't avoid it. So obviously they're doing something correct. Steve Jackson Games is doing something correct.
Right. You know what I'd love to do? I'd love to go to like one of these. I don't know what a convention this would be.
Dice Tower Con.
Dice Tower Con. All right. Or even like MegaCon, one of the bigger cons where there's actually like a board game area.
No, MegaCon doesn't really have a board game area. Let's just say
Dice Tower Con. You show up at Dice Tower Con. You're ready to go. You get your backpack. Say, hey, anybody want to, get this great board game? Anybody want to play with me? You get like 5 or 6 people over, a crowd. Come on, this is a great game. Get like a whole bunch of people over to you, and then you unzip your backpack, and then you pull out just like classic Monopoly.
Oh God!
And set it down. And I see a reaction. I just wonder what the hell people would do. What? I thought we were playing board games, guys.
People will flip the table.
They would. Oh man.
It's just a prank, bro. They will burn your board games. You will be banned from the convention.
Light Monopoly on fire.
You will be banned from the convention. I hate. I vehemently hate Monopoly.
Really?
Like honestly, I've never liked Monopoly. I've never been one to be like, oh, let's just throw Monopoly on there. As a matter of fact, because of my avid hate for Monopoly, I was surprised that I actually found board gaming at all, because Monopoly just it irked me so much. And my ex-wife, when we would have like a game night, I'd want to play like Risk, maybe even
Risk is fun.
Yes, maybe some Sorry, some Uno, something like that.
Sorry's fun.
She'd always want to throw down that damn Monopoly, and she was really good at it. Like to the point where it's just like, how you must be cheating somehow. Like you must pray to the Monopoly gods before you play this game.
I have a theory as to why you don't like Monopoly.
Okay.
Because
I suck at money.
Because it's not good.
That's.
I've been thinking about it for a while.
You might actually have something there.
It's terrible.
You might have something there. It might take a little more investigation, but I think you might be onto something.
I too do not enjoy it. Matter of fact, I think I've won one game
in your entire life.
My entire life, and it was like 2 years ago.
And the worst part is that playing that game. I'm one of those people, like, if I'm playing a game, I have to play it to the end. So playing that game becomes like a test of your willpower to continue playing that stupid game, because especially when you're getting the living crap kicked out of you, it's just like, okay, I just landed on your 18th hotel.
When the main mechanic of a game is you need to take upon the role of being Sisyphus and push that boulder up the hill, I just don't think that's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the worst. That's not a good selling point for me.
No. I don't know. I don't understand. I mean, I guess maybe back in the day when there really weren't very many choices in board games. But my suggestion to everyone is, if you want to have a family board game that anybody can come and play, that you can throw on the table, that pretty much everybody have a good time playing, and something you can play over and over. Yeah, about that. No, I mean, honestly, Settlers of Catan is still, it's still a good game. It still holds up. But I was going to say Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride is a great game, especially for people who haven't really played board games and you want to kind of get them into playing board games. It's a train laying game where it's like everybody's got their own little routes that they're trying to accomplish. Like you've got a map of America, or whichever. Some of them are India, Europe, that kind of thing. You've got your own little map, or you got a big map, sorry, that everybody shares. You've got your own little routes in your hand, and you're trying to set your trains down into routes from one point to another to get points, and to score for those routes. But at the same time, other people are trying to score for their routes, and if they start seeing, where your routes are kind of headed, they're going to try to screw you over by placing trains in certain areas to keep you from being able to get to your route, or to keep you from getting to your route easily. So it's a really, it's fun, it's easy to learn, there is some strategy to it, but it's kind of a lighter, board game that pretty much everybody in the family, I don't know, probably like 10 and up can get and play. So that's my suggestion for a game to kind of have, in the house at all times instead of Monopoly.
Right next to your fire extinguisher.
Yes.
In case of emergency, Ticket to Ride.
Yes. Oh, there's a fire. Do I play Ticket to Ride or put it out with the fire extinguisher?
Oh, Ticket to Ride's really fun. Oh. Do I have time to put up the fire? Oh, man, I really got to play this right now.
Right now. I want it now, Daddy. So, I've also seen that they're going to be making a Monster Hunter. You know Monster Hunter, the...
Monster Hunter International?
Well, they're going to be making a Monster Hunter live-action movie.
Okay. I've heard good things about the series. My brother-in-law raves about the books, that they're amazing.
Oh, they have books?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm talking about Monster Hunter, the video game.
Oh, different Monster Hunter.
Yes,
There's
okay.
a book
I think I know what you're talking
Monster
about.
Hunter
Yes.
International.
Yes,
It's
okay.
like a cabal of monster hunters.
Yes, I actually think I have the first book in that. I haven't read it yet.
Apparently, the audiobook's fantastic.
Because that's how you do it.
I cannot read. I am illiterate.
I need to start doing that, though. I can put my earbud in while I'm at work and just kind of listen.
You know what's funny is a friend of mine. He always posts hilarious stuff on Facebook. I love the stuff that he posts. For example, he'll post something. He'll call it his regressive thought of the day, and he'll make some archaic sentiment, from history. Very intelligent guy.
Yeah.
I love his humor, but I totally fucking lost my chain of thought because I just went back thinking about all the hilarious things.
Talking about your man crush.
Talking about my man crush.
Man crush Saturday.
Yeah, right. I'm listening to these audiobooks, and I started listening to some classics, or I guess what you would consider classics. And Fyodor Dostoevsky. People kept talking, oh yeah, this is one of the good ones. So I ended up picking up the Brothers Karamazov and Crime and Punishment. I'm like, well, it's a nice long book. This will feed me driving time for a while at work. So I started listening to it. Really good. And
you started listening to it really good.
Yeah, really good, man.
Because before I wasn't listening very well.
I was bad at listening.
But now I'm good at it.
Yeah, my brain is shot after being.
You still got. I was gonna say you got that sick head still. Is what it is.
So he ended up. For some reason, he picked up a really, really. I don't want to call it obscure, but one of these like old Shakespearean books, and it wasn't Shakespeare, but whoever wrote Le Mort d'Arthur, Death of Arthur, Thomas More.
Sure.
I'm an idiot. I'm a pleb. I'm an idiot. But he goes,
if you want to talk about like sci-fi books.
Yeah. He goes, this is awful. So I comment, yeah, I remember. That's like distinctly, I remember that in school, and I remember hating it. Like, that's so funny. It's like, I've been listening to Dostoevsky, and he's like, I've already read Crime and Punishment. I'm like, of course you did. Like, of course. Like,
I just like the douchebag face you made when he said it. You're like, I've already read Crime and Punishment. So, then you adjusted your fake
I lifted up my fake glasses.
Your fake hipster glasses.
But it's just like his response to that, I thought was absolutely perfect. So that's my man crush Saturday. Yeah.
Nice. I was actually I was talking to this woman, and I was talking about being into nerdy things, and she's like, oh yeah, it's pretty trendy right now. Everybody's into nerdy things. I was like, excuse me, I was into nerdy things before they were cool.
And you
and then I pulled up my tight skinny jeans and pushed my hipster glasses up and walked away.
Adjusted your man bun.
Yes, adjusted my man bun and fixed my suspenders and walked away.
You were specifically wearing a wig, so you could have a man bun. It's like, what is?
Can we talk about man buns for a second? Just. It's a little offshoot, but let's just talk about how ridiculous a man bun is. Like, I mean, do you think you're a samurai, or...
Well, it's not even a top knot. They're not even doing it cool.
No.
Because, okay, I went and saw The Magnificent Seven.
Yes.
All right?
I went and saw it as well, and I fell asleep in the theater.
Oh, really?
It had nothing to do with the movie. It was not the movie's fault. I was up late the night before, and I was really ticked off. So now I'm going to have to wait till it comes back out on Redbox, because I already spent money once to go see. I can't go pay for it again.
Well, I'll save you. It was really good. But did you get the part with Billy? Billy and Goodnight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, Billy and Goodnight were fantastic. And his little.
But he had his little hair and a little knot. I mean, that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Because
he was a badass.
He could kill a man with that.
Any man that can kill a man with a little hair pin thing. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna make fun of his man bun.
That's badass.
Yeah.
It's not, But also, too, he's got a pass because he's Asian, so he can do that. And it's
I mean, come on now. Now we're just being, I mean, I saw The Last Samurai. I saw The Last Samurai. I think
appropriate.
I saw The Last Samurai. I think
Tom Cruise?
Oh, it was Tom Cruise. Never mind. Yeah, I think Tom Cruise.
You're thinking of the other one.
Yeah.
With,
but I think
Neil.
Tom Cruise rocked the man bun okay in that movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Did he do a man bun?
I think he did, didn't he? I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing the two
I'm
of
gonna
them.
have to watch it because you know what? That's not a terrible movie.
I've had Tom Cruise on the brain ever since my patients were watching Top Gun at work. So.
Well, let me tell you, I can't wait for the new Jack Reacher-On movie. That's gonna be great.
I'm not excited about that at all.
Oh man, the trailer looks so bad.
Man, what a great porn name though, Jack Reacher-On.
Why is he trying to be like Liam Neeson in this?
Because he's old now,
Taken
maybe?
was such a great movie, and I've had this conversation with my friend before, and we've talked about how... What year did that come out? It was like 2009, 2010, something like that.
I don't know, but that line from Deadpool always cracks me up when I think about those movies where he's just like, I had a dream that Liam Neeson was after me because I stole his daughter. He's like, they made 3 of those movies? At some point in time, you just have to imagine that he's just not a good father.
Well, the first one, though. I mean, where can cinema go after that? Like, there's never been a movie to me that has invoked the same emotions and excitement and just badassness as Taken. Just because it was just for me, it was completely out of nowhere.
I mean...
I enjoyed it.
You didn't see Police Academy 3? I mean, same exact emotions.
Really?
No, go ahead.
Steve Guttenberg? Hey, I'm going to put super glue in your hairspray, and if you don't bring my daughter back, I'm going to rip your pubic hair
What
off.
happened to that guy? Like, he just fell off the face of the earth.
He retired.
He must have.
He made that Dolphin and Dog movie, and Lulu and Max.
And then he was just like, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out.
He was in the Tower of Terror movie for Disney. And
he was.
Didn't he try and do like a serious role and then just fell off the face of the earth?
No idea.
That?
I don't know. It's like who is it from the Honey I Shrunk the Kids and stuff like that? Is that?
Oh yeah, Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis, but you know why he retired, right?
His wife passed away.
Exactly.
And then he became full-time dad, and
that's amazing, isn't it?
He's such a
and that was at the height of his career.
Yeah.
I mean, like Honey I Shrunk the Kids was huge, and he stepped back to go. Take care of his sick wife, and then when she passed, he was like, "I'm just gonna stay a father." I mean,
be a dad, take care of my kids.
That's amazing. Like that's
and
an
he was
incredible
a prominent
story.
comedian too.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he was in so many things. I mean, so many
Ghostbusters?
things. He was so many things.
Yeah.
Like,
He
but
didn't
he
make
took.
a
I mean,
cameo
that
either.
could have very well been his like launching point was for how popular that Honey I Shrunk the Kids movie was. He could have that could have just kept him in lead comedic roles for a while, and
for a long time.
And he just stepped away from it. I don't know. That's the sign. That's the sign of a true man.
Yeah.
Like that's just amazing.
Absolutely. He could have been. Who's the fella? He's got. Oh my God. I can see his face. He's got.
We can too. We're all inside your head right now.
Yeah, everyone's inside my head. No, he was in. He's old now, and he's got white hair, and he's a comedian. Oh God, I'm
Oh
such
my
a
God!
fucking
It's not like it's not like there's 100 of those people.
Oh.
You talking about like Steve Martin?
Steve Martin,
Hey,
yeah.
Hey!
And he did a lot of movies with Steve Martin.
I
didn't
just
he?
won a prize.
Didn't
I think they did do a few flicks together. Yeah.
he could have been like on that caliber of comedian.
It's just amazing. That's an amazing story.
The world will never know. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Where are we at time wise?
58.
Okay, so I guess we should probably wrap it up now.
I guess.
I mean, we could keep going, but
2 hours.
the 2-hour special.
Whoa!
All right, so
It's me, Fart Knocker.
and this is Raspberry in the morning.
Whoa! Spell R's easy.
Exactly. God, we really missed our calling. We should have been really crappy radio hosts. Like, I don't know what happened in life. So I want to thank you all for listening to the Nub again, all 5 of you, and tell your 5 friends so they can tell their 5 friends, and they can tell their 5 friends.
Maybe we can get 10 subscribers.
Oh my God, that would be fantastic.
That'd be amazing.
Like I said, tomorrow, if this comes out today, tomorrow I will be at the comic and toy show thingamabobber, doing some gaming. If you want to come hang out and see me, that'd be awesome.
Should go see the steampunk meetup.
Yes. When is the steampunk meetup again?
It's there. I don't know exactly what time. I'm pretty sure they were going to do a steampunk meetup there.
Okay. Well, I will definitely try to check that out too. I got to work tomorrow, so we'll see.
Yeah, I gotta work. I get off at 2, so I don't know if I'm gonna make it by there.
But I thank you guys again, and this was the Merce.
Felt.
And you guys have a good day.